Welcome back. Welcome back. My name is Jenna. I'm a certified holistic nutritional consultant, and today we're going to make a paleo stuffing. And so we're going to start off by chopping up our cauliflower into smaller florets. So I just like to remove the bottom part. And then to remove the core, I just slice into it like so, kind of on an angle, so then it pulls right out. And then we'll just chop them into smaller florets and place them on a parchment lined baking sheet. We have the oven preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We are going to add the cauliflower to a food processor, so they don't have to be perfect florets, just roughly chopped. And then we'll just drizzle the cauliflower with some melted coconut oil. And salt and pepper. You can just stir that around a bit. And we'll toss that in the oven to bake for about 30 minutes. While the cauliflower is roasting, we're going to saute up some mushrooms, leeks, and celery. And so just chop that up now. So I just like to chop off the end of my leek, and then you're gonna wanna remove the green part. So you can save that for some soup stock later on if you want, but we're not gonna use it in this recipe. And then I like to slice it in half. And then just chop it from there. We'll just set it aside in our bowl. And then we're gonna dice up some celery. I like to put lots of celery in my dishes, so I'm going to use 5 stalks of celery. I just like to have a clean end, so I remove those ends. And then with the celery, I always turn it this side down so it's very stable when you're chopping it. You're gonna just roll your knife along. Now we're going to dice up our mushrooms. So we want them quite small because they are going in a stuffing. So I just like to cut them like so, and then in smaller pieces. We have about 4 cups of mushrooms to dice up. So now we're going to saute up the mushrooms, leeks, and celery. So I just put a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil in my frying pan, and we're going to heat it over about medium heat. So now we're going to combine some of our ingredients in the food processor. So we're going to add a cup of walnuts, and half a tablespoon of dried thyme. You can use a tablespoon of fresh thyme as well. And 3 garlic cloves, so I'm just going to peel those. So I just like to smash them with the flat side of my knife. And then the peel comes off a whole lot easier. And we'll just remove that one end and give them a rough chop. We're also going to add the juice of 1 lemon. I like to hold my hand underneath to catch all the seeds. We're also going to add half a cup of fresh parsley, roughly chopped. And some sea salt. And the last thing we're going to add to the food processor is our roasted cauliflower. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. And then we'll process that up. So we don't want it to be smooth, so you just want to pulse it till it just kind of breaks down. So we're going to add that to our baking dish with our mushroom, celery, and leeks. So I have some of it in there already. toss the rest of the mushrooms in there and give everything a good stir before we put it in the oven. So we did turn the oven down to 375, and we're going to bake this in the oven for an hour. Just make sure everything's well combined. Does look good. And just kind of squish it down. So there, it's ready to go in the oven. How do you drop a leak?
I have no idea. I asked the wrong person.